what people have been asking so far.
Well, that's something.
Yes, and if anyone ever needs to know anything about Commander Mode, just please come back to don'tremindmebro.com and listen to this podcast.
That's actually what I just typed. So I was asking about the netcode.
The next code.
Controller settings. I know this is something you and I talked about a long time ago. And maybe this will be just to refresh.
Well, yeah, we go way back, Chris.
Way back, yeah. So it's January at least.
Oh, yeah.
The customizable button mapping. Now, I assume there's nothing you can say about that, but maybe
not right now.
you can bring
right
that
now.
back to...
I have people that sit right behind me in the office and work on it, but I fortunately can't say anything about it.
Well, at least that's something.
Yes.
Turn off 3D spotting. Any information about hardcore mode?
Not right now.
No. Will there be decapitation? Wow, that's gruesome.
No. That is gruesome, by the way.
Yeah. Kill cam, you guys are announcing that later, correct? Something...
Tweet the Mice99. Get everyone off my back.
Yeah. Let's see. Health regens when you're under cover, not under suppression.
So, Chris, let people know here. I know you've done some podcasts together with Pixel and me. I watched it and I enjoyed it very much. The whole feedback podcast you guys did in 2 parts. I actually sent them around in the studio and people really appreciated the
Awesome.
feedback podcast. So it was a big thank you for that podcast. But what did you feel when you played Battlefield 3 with the health regen and that kind of stuff? I mean, what did you think?
I thought the health... You know, it's tough because I am such a big fan of the series. You know, it's tough to be kind of objective sometimes, but it is a already balanced game already. And the things... Like, we're not like the Call of Duty community that make a big stink about everything and they change core game mechanics. Like, we didn't have to make a big deal about Rambo revives and quick scoping or Wookiees or anything like that. You knew it was a problem, and you guys changed it. You know, so to be able to play the game and see that, you know, Rambo revives are gone now. You have to accept a revive. And scopes have sway. You know, that you're listening already is a really good sign. I mean, obviously it was pre-alpha. There's a couple hitches. There's a couple graphical glitches and everything else. You know, the game's not perfect yet.
Yes.
But it was definitely a very enjoyable experience. And for all those worrying, because I said it a little bit that it, not that it looked so much like Medal of Honor, but you know, the recoil is a little bit more realistic like Medal of Honor, and the spec system is kind of similar to it. It's still a different game, and it's still very much a Battlefield game. So I hope that eases people's concerns.
Yes. So what did you feel? Did you get into the vehicle, the LAV? The LAV is the tankish vehicle on Operation Metro.
I did. Blink and I got into it once, and then Blink got into it because we wanted to see if you could take it down the subway.
Yeah.
And you could only get so far, but it was pretty interesting with the 2 different fire modes and everything else. We really didn't get a chance to play with it too much, as there's no like anti-armor or anything like that other than the infantry, but it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, I remember at DreamHack, before we even let people into the booth, when we play tested everything and made sure everything was awesome, one of these the person who makes the trailers, Marcus Johansson, aka Nuken, who made all these really cool videos for BF2, he drove the LAV down into the tunnel, and I was spawning there. I didn't really have any other place to spawn. He just fired at me like all the time. I was getting so furious with him.
So here's something that you can maybe tease us with, is the map that you're playtesting today. Is it the same map as before, Operation Metro, or a different one?
Oh, I can't tell you that.
You can't even tell us that.
I can tell you, I have playtested Operation Metro. That I can say that.
So you're saying you've playtested other maps as well?
Yes, of course.
There you go.
So I'm not going to say whether it was Operation Metro or if it was a new map. It was a map. that I play tested, which was amazing. It was awesome.
It's a safe assumption there will be more than one map in the game when it ships. So
There are going to be between 1 and 1,000 maps in the game, or 1 in 1,000,000 maps.
I quoted,
So pick a number.
I quoted Lars saying it's infinitely customizable spec system. I assume he misspoke a little bit. But I don't
Hey, you
think it
spoke
was
to Lars.
infinite. Or Lars, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, let's see. You guys don't have a firm date for the beta?
Not right now, but we will roll out beta news in, let's see, in a few weeks. We will let people know. People really want to know when the beta is coming. People really want to know system specs. So, of course, we know about all these things. We know that people want to know about this kind of stuff. So we're not ignoring it. We're just getting our stuff together and making sure that when we finally actually say something, we're not going to take it back.
Right. Let's see here. That was a good question I just missed. Spawn system. Can you talk a little bit about how that's working?
Yes, you click deploy and you spawn. Now, as you saw in the E3 build, you can squad spawn, and you can spawn on set places. Set places being traditionally battlefield stuff, like the maps and bases and that kind of stuff. And in the squad, as you saw in the E3 build from the DreamHack build and that kind of stuff, is that you actually have a person in the squad who has a star next to him. And that star means that this person is a squad leader. So you can actually only spawn in the squad if he's there. So one of the team play objectives, not an objective, what a team play incentive in the game is to actually keep him alive, revive him. And revive has now been moved to assault for those people who don't know. So you're a combat medic pretty much. So the squad leader is a point of spawn pretty much, and when he dies you can't squad spawn.
Right, and that changes, correct? Squad leader will change? Or?
Changes how?
Like, it's not one fixed person for the whole game?
Yes, it changes.
Right. That would be good. What else? Dynamic weather? Anything you can talk about there?
Dynamic weather? Not right now.
Console server browser? That's probably not a question that you'd be able to answer.
That is I can't really comment on that right now, but I will be able to comment on it later.
Okay.
Pretty much it. And regarding land mode, a lot of people are asking about, mod tools. A lot of people are asking about mod tools, and this whole thing blew up yesterday and today about mod tools. Is there going to be mod tools or not? At this moment, as we said before, at the E3 interview, is that we're not considering mod tools right now at this very moment, because it's just way too complex.
Right.
And it is way too complex.
Especially with the new engine, I would imagine.
Yes. And what about land mode comes here is a new question. I can't really comment on land mode, so.
Is your plans to circle strafe nerfing or nerfing circle strafe choppers?
Oh, these questions.
Yeah. For my sake, yes.
Yeah, so a lot of community feedback has also been about the circle strafing, helicopters, and that kind of stuff. And we're working on the vehicle side just as hard as we're working on the multiplayer side.
Right.
That's all I can say. Who's playing in the background, by the way?
This is Ty Webb.
Ty Webb.
Check him out, Ty Webb on YouTube. So that's, maybe you should talk about a little bit more. We discussed this on the last podcast about a little bit more what your job entails in regards to looking for community feedback.
I go on podcasts and don't tell people anything.
That's what you're going to be known for.
That's pretty much my job.
Masterfully, I might add.
Oh, thank you very much. I could be a politician, couldn't I?
Yeah.
No, the job is pretty much about representing DICE and representing Battlefield 3. That's what it's all about.
Good answer.
I think the sound died.
Yeah, cut down a little bit there.
Any more information on co-op mode?
Oh yeah, I can hear you now. I accidentally pressed the turn sound off button. Sorry.
That wouldn't do it.
No, but it's to represent DICE and Battlefield 3 at events, trade shows, represent the fan base, trying to build the fan base, set up events like DreamHack, go out and meet people, show them why Battlefield 3 is so awesome, spread our ideas and core mechanics of the game, and that kind of stuff, which is very important, because if you want to understand what Battlefield 3 is, you can jump in and play the game, but if you want to understand it more, there's a rich history behind it you need to understand.
Chris, it's Colin. I just got to step away for 1 second. I'll be right back. You guys keep going.
Certainly. Yeah, I know it's been a little difficult for you having to hold your tongue, I guess. But I hope if people get at least one thing from this podcast is that it's being worked on and your concerns are being heard. And I know you and I have talked about community feedback, and I've shown you some, and you've asked for more. So that's something a lot of game developers don't do on such a big scale as you.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course, we're making the game based on our